What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another very exciting episode right here on the Migardener channel. I am so excited about today's episode because I'm going to be updating you all on our strawberry beds. Now, a lot of you have been asking for updates, and that's because we kind of left you on a cliffhanger where we were tearing out the beds and we were putting the strawberries that were kind of in the surrounding walkways into the raised beds as next year's plants, or the new stock of plants for next year. And a lot of you wanted an update and kind of wanted to see what it would look like when it was all finished. And so we're finished. We've been finished for quite a while, but I just decided to kind of give you guys an update because there was also some stuff that happened that initially was very discouraging and very frustrating, but then was actually kind of a learning lesson for me. And I thought, what a great opportunity to bring you all along, not only for an update, but also to show you what I'm learning as a gardener as well, because I am by no means a perfect gardener. I think a lot of you think I am, because the garden looks so great and it looks so perfect, but it's far from it. I have things that I'm not super proud of. I've talked about those in the past. I'm always working on improving things. And I also have things that don't work out the way I had planned. So don't by any means ever get discouraged with your garden. It is just, it's always something that you're learning and you're growing. And that's one of the things about a garden that makes it so much fun. So where are we at with the strawberry bed? Well, we actually, like you saw, we pulled out the strawberries. A lot of you asked, why did you do that, Luke? What was the reason for that? Well, the reason for that is because strawberries have a life expectancy. Once you get to past 3 years on your strawberry plants, the issue is that the rhizome, because they grow from a center crown, that rhizome actually gets too large. It grows in one direction. And so not like the band, but literally only in one direction. And so the problem is that over time, the strawberry plant, as it grows, gets further and further away from the soil level because it grows much like an orchid does, which it grows just in one direction and it gets too far away from the soil. It gets harder and harder for the roots, the new roots that form, to get down into the soil, to access soil moisture and water and nutrients and things like that. And during drought and heat, it takes a far greater toll on the plants. And so after about 3 years, the production value does not necessarily slow down as much as just the stress increases, which causes the production to slow down. If you had a really good way of continually getting the plants to be at soil level, you could probably get away with a few more years. But as is, planting them, because they're a perennial, you can't really dig them deeper into the soil. And the problem is you also can't bring more soil and backfill because there is a crown attached to the plant. That old plant material is part of the new plant as well. And so if you just backfill a bunch of soil, just because there's a new plant that is growing on top of where the old plant was, does not mean you can just bury it all and have it be good. That old plant material will rot, and it causes what's called crown rot. That's one of the biggest issues that a lot of gardeners face with growing things like asparagus, strawberries, and whatnot, is that they have a crown and you cannot bury that crown. Otherwise, they'll rot. And when they rot, they die. So you can't just bury them deeper. So you're really just left with the best alternative, which is to replace them. Now, a lot of farmers, they will replace them. They'll actually stagger their beds out, or their rows. And so they'll plant one plot. They'll leave one plot barren. They'll take the runners that come from this plot over here. They'll plant out the following year a new plot. And that way there's always one plot that is basically in cycle. And then they'll have a third plot that's empty as well. And then when that second year rolls around, this bed right here is going to produce fruit plus runners. The runners from that bed will start the third plot. And then basically the third year, the runners from this bed will start a fresh new bed after they pull out those strawberries. So hopefully you follow that cyclical idea, but that way there's always a plot in production, there's always a plot that's maturing to production, and there's always a plot that is refreshing an old plot that is already produced and kind of run its life. So that's the idea behind what we're doing here, and that's why we had to pull them out. And so we pulled them out, we topped off the beds, and we're ready to grow. But one thing happened that was very discouraging, very, very discouraging. And that was, we were struck with a frost, and then the frost knocked down the growth, and the frost happened like 5-6 weeks before our first frost usually comes. So the plant growth pretty much stopped, and then it shot up to like 85, almost 90 degrees for 4 or 5 days straight with no rain whatsoever. And the problem is that the growth had already stopped, and so the growth didn't just start up again. And so the problem is that you had these plants that were newly transplanted, barely had a root system whatsoever, thrown into soil that was, not properly, it was not properly prepped for 85, 90 degree weather with no rain whatsoever. And the plants just withered. I'll show you a close up. They just withered. And I thought, oh boy, I think I might have just blown my entire strawberry season next year. I do have a few plants that are kind of left as emergency plants, and I left them in the walkways in case something like this were to happen, but I was devastated. I was just absolutely devastated. That's why I never even gave you guys an update, because I was kind of processing it and saying, how can I best recover from this that does not discourage new gardeners? And so, because this was a huge blow for me. This really was not that fun to see. And lo and behold, something happened. The miracle of nature, nature finds a way, I'll tell you. Nature finds a way. And it's so inspiring that if there's any adversity in your life, if there's anything that is a roadblock that it seems too challenging to get over, and you're tired, you're exhausted, and you just feel like giving up, take a lesson from the strawberry playbook. These things know how to persevere. They know how to push through adversity, and they know how to survive and thrive. So check it out. I don't even know how this is possible other than nothing short of a miracle. So here's the walkway, and these are a lot of the quality of plants that we transplanted into the raised bed. I mean, just beautiful. I mean, just so lush, so green, so healthy, and really doing well. And as you can see, there's a lot of brown. In fact, every single plant was absolutely fried to a crisp. I'll show you what these looked like. And these are just decimated. They're dead. They're totally dead. Until we got a little bit of rain. And look. Isn't that incredible? Wow. From the crown comes all new growth. Not just this one, but this one. And this one. And this one. And look at how dead these were. Just look at how dead those are. And like I said, the whole bed was like that. In fact, both beds were like that. So I thought that was just something really cool to show you all, because I came out here and I was just kind of weeding the garden. I was getting some stuff planted. Yes, I'm still planting stuff, believe it or not. I was just planting some spinach and some radishes for a super late fall, early winter harvest. And so I was getting those started, and I just decided, you know what? I'm just gonna pull up the strawberries. I'm gonna see what I can do to, now that we had some rain and some cooler weather, I'm gonna see what I can do to take some of those emergency plants from the walkways and put them in the raised beds, so that hopefully by spring they're rooted, established enough to come back and hopefully give us some semblance of a strawberry patch like we had. And I was gonna do that, and as I was going to pull one out, that's when I saw the green tuft of growth, and it just got me so excited and so excited to bring you guys along for this, because out of nothingness, out of just frustration and death and destruction, came a silver lining of hope and excitement, and I just really wanted to share that with you guys. And I hope that you took something from it, whatever it was. If that was never stop persevering in your garden or in life or something that's going on, I just hope that it was meaningful to you. And also, as a side note, if you're growing strawberries, I hope this was a great take home for you to know that strawberries are, besides onions, I think probably some of the toughest plants you can possibly grow in the garden. You know, I don't know too many plants that are tougher than an onion, but if there was ever one to rival it, I think it'd probably be the strawberry. I mean, these things, they just want to grow. And like I said, I don't know too many plants that can go from completely dead, crispy, bone dry, brittle, and brown, and any other adjective that describes what these were, lifeless, and then come back and grow. It just is it's so incredible. So another reason number 5 trillion why I love gardening. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you learned something new. I really hope that you get out in the garden and let me know in the comments box below something that amazes you about your garden. I would love to hear that, actually. I'd really love to hear that. So let me know if you're still watching. Thank you for watching to the end. If you're still watching, throw a like up there. Helps this video get spread around. But also, please do. I would love to read something that amazes you about your garden. So as always, this is Luke from the Migardener channel, reminding you to grow big or go home. And I'll catch you all on the next episode. See ya. Bye.